today we're going to talk about lash breaks. Apparently she came home and they're like, Mom, what's wrong with you? But her allergies were so severe that I know what's going to happen. You're going to have a reaction. This is ugly. And it is so gross to look at.
Yeah.
But it does happen.
Yeah.
But there is a chemical, an ingredient that you do want to stay away from, right?
Yeah, so I feel like even more on the market nowadays is the peptides and the more natural-based ones because that's the direction we're going in. I haven't been touching them. I haven't worn makeup with my lashes. There's ways to prevent having to take a lash break.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to Not Just Lashes. I'm Shanique.
And I am Dixie.
And here we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of our industry.
Yes.
Industry as a whole.
The whole ugly, the whole beauty, ugly, everything.
The ugly beauty hole.
The ugly beauty hole. Yeah, some people call it that.
Yeah, I know, right?
If you're into waxing.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right. Well,
Dixie's a peach.
I am.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about lash breaks because I know personally me, I don't like them. I don't like to take a lash break. If I do, it's probably a couple days or a week or two, but nothing beyond that, you know, especially if I know I have eyelashes. But yeah, today we're going to talk about lash breaks and when to do it, how to break it to the client, how to ease your client into it, because it is a lot. Like when you have lashes, and I always kind of use this example, like I feel like I look glamorous, like Miss Piggy, and then you take off the extensions and you look like Kermit. Like there's nothing there.
There's nothing in between.
No, there's nothing there. And it doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah, especially if you're used to like a thicker lash look.
Yes.
I always warn people. One of my clients, we had to take her lashes off. She was just having so many issues with, I guess her natural lashes were growing downwards into her eye and then causing scratch. It wasn't even the extensions. And I feel like the weight of the extension was what was making it. She was just irritated. So I was like, let's take them all off just to give your eyes a rest.
Yes.
Like I was willing to put them on in the next week, but I said, maybe just like let them breathe or, you know, but she wanted them on right away.
How long did she last without them?
A week.
A week, yeah.
Yeah. But
it's hard.
I know,
it's not
but she said the same thing.
easy.
She was so nervous and so scared. And I was like, your lashes are there. And she's also blonde, like so blonde eyelashes. So they're invisible. And she was terrified. And when I took them off, before I showed her the mirror, I was like, they are there. Your natural lashes are there. But you're so used to them dark and so full that it's going to be a change. And then she told me like because kids are ruthless. Yeah. And they'll just tell you how it is. But apparently she came home, they're like, Mom, what's wrong with you?
Oh.
And so they were like, put your lashes back on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I know how it is. And it sucks.
Yeah.
It truly sucks. I remember one time that I had to break it down to this one lady because she kept taking, you know, a Benadryl, a Claritin, like before, after her appointment. And it just got to the point where I didn't feel comfortable. And if you don't feel comfortable or if you see something wrong, like how I tell all my girls, you see something wrong, you see the eyelashes kind of just going away, you got to break it down to them and just take a lash break. So,
and it's better for the lash artist to have that conversation. You don't want them coming back around and being like, you like are the reason why all my lashes are gone or I have, you know, like, because you never know. So being honest and like, educating them on
educate them before that even happens.
Yeah.
You gotta catch it before it does happen. And that's our responsibility, especially if they have volume, you know, and they can't see what's going on.
Yeah.
So going back to my story, this woman, I finally told her like, I'm sorry, but like today's the day. We discussed it, took them off. And this is when we were in Westlake. she ran to the bathroom and she apparently was crying. And one of the workers were like,
just lashes.
It's not just lashes. No.
Yeah.
One of the workers were walking by the bathroom and she saw her crying and she said, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" And she goes, "Shanique made me take off my eyelashes.
Shanique made me ugly.
She made me look like this." And I was like, "I am so sorry." You know, sometimes, you know, you're doing it for their good, and sometimes you just can't win. But that said, I felt good about it. I made the right decision. I truly, truly did, because I didn't want anything bad to happen or have the blame on me.
Did she ever come back to you to?
She tried, but her allergies were so severe that I was like, "Look, babe, I know what's going to happen. You're going to have a reaction." We did test a few eyelashes on her because I, you know, especially after that, instead of paying for a full set, test the eyelashes, put 6 eyelashes on each eye, let them live with it for 3 days, because some allergies react a day, 2 days later, maybe even 3, you never know. So I did that. She got a reaction, but she ended up going somewhere else thinking that
would solve the problem.
That would solve the problem. Yeah. But then, you know, the other estheticians or hairstylists were telling me, like, no, she still had allergy problems.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a thing, you know?
It's a battle.
Hard.
I mean,
it is a battle.
I had someone so sensitive. We did sensitive glue on her, like we did all the precautions. And the first couple times I did her, like, she doesn't even wear mascara because it irritates her. So the past couple times I did her, like, all good. Like, she's like, "Oh, no, nothing. And then, like, maybe by her, like, 6th visit, like,
really?
She, like, just developed something, or I don't know, because she's prone to styes. She's prone to, like, she just
sensitive.
And she sends me a picture. It was terrifying. Like, her eye was so swollen. And, like, I was like, "Please take them off."
Yeah,
like, come
right?
in. She's like, "No, I'm never taking them off." And I was like, "But please, like, that's not good." Like, and she's like, no, it'll be fine. It calms down after a day or two. I'm like, you should not look like something bit you in the eyeballs every time you get your lashes done. And
did she swell up?
Yeah, like majorly, like it. And like red, like they looked. It was one of the worst I've seen. Like, it was so bad, and so it calmed down or whatever, and it was time for her fill. And apparently she went to her eye doctor, and it was so funny because her eye doctor's gay, and he loves the eyelashes. Because a lot of eye doctors, I don't know if you like with clients, they always want you to take off the eyelashes. Eye doctors hate us. I dated one once, and they were like, "Oh, we don't like you."
Oh my God.
Like, you know, because they trap things and people.
Yeah.
Like, I would say like 80% of people don't clean their eyelash, you know? So like that's what causes problems.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
then they're in your eye and they see that and they see the you know? Yeah. So for your eye health and stuff, they always are like, no. But her eye doctor is really cool. And he's like, "No, I love them. You keep those lashes." So he told us to do a cream that's over the counter. And what we do is she comes in, she brings the cream. I also have the cream just in case, but we put it down here. Then we place the eye pads on. I put the cream above while I'm lashing. And then I wipe the cream off when I'm done and reapply a new layer. And then she's fine. And she'll like reapply it throughout the day. And then after the first day, she doesn't have any reactions or anything like that. So she was able to keep her lashes.
So that's one person that it worked for.
Yeah.
Now, this is not going to work for everybody.
No, but
because
also,
if it did, we would all hear about it.
Exactly.
You know, so, you know, you'll get those people where it just happened to work.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you know?
and it's not like, I mean, every time is perfect. Like sometimes she's like middle of the week. She's like, "Yeah, I don't know why." Like they were a little more, you know, than
She's
usual
sensitive.
and stuff. But she was one where it was like, "No, I'm not taking off my lashes." So we figured out.
Of
But
course.
if she still was getting that puffy, then I would definitely deny her.
Denied.
Big deny stamp
So,
on her
I know.
forehead. She's laying there. I'm like, "Nope."
I love it. Denied by Dixie.
The double D.
The double D denied.
You got double D'd.
So the reasons why, we take a lash break is number 1, lash loss, 2, blepharitis, 3, allergies, like really bad allergies. Because what happens with blepharitis and like allergies is that it creates like a crust, on the eyelash line, and then it pushes the eyelash and extension. This is the ugly. And it is so gross to look at.
Yeah.
But it does happen.
Yeah.
So when that happens, you're gonna, if they have blepharitis and all that stuff, it can pull your eyelashes out. So
And people don't you as the client, right? You don't realize that you have that, right? Like blepharitis. It's usually the lash artist that can see above, and then they have to tell their client
most of the time, because they don't know, especially if they wear like a lot of makeup. They don't know. They don't see what we see. So recently I told one of my clients, I'm like, she frequently takes lash breaks. Okay, this specific client. And I told her, look, I think we should take a break. Let's give it another month, because I could see where we're headed again. Because she doesn't really maintain the healthy part of it.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, so let's get ahead of it. Let's do a lash serum 2 weeks before we take them off. And that way they're kind of like growing ahead of time, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Regrowing get ahead of it. And then when I take them off, at least they'll be a little bit longer, possibly a little bit fuller. And it just shows that you care. And it shows that, like, there's always steps in a guide to kind of like follow. And I think that's one that I really like to do. And then say, okay, depending on the damage, or if you see future damage, it just depends. Say we're going to take 2 weeks off. Say we're going to take 4 weeks off. Or if it's that bad, really bad, let's just take 5 months off. Let's see what will happen. I don't know, depends on the month, the time of the year. Hey, it's summertime. Let's do an eyelash lift.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
And then we'll get you
them
ready.
A lash lift.
And then, around the corner, it's October, November, December, January, February, where every woman wants to look good for those holidays. So it's like, just, get them ready for that. Make them feel good that they're doing something, for the moment that sucks. But in the end, they're going to look really good for the holidays.
The trade-off.
The trade-off.
No, but always offer the lash, if they're doing the lash serum and they're taking a break, just be like, you know what, let's take a break for a week or 2. And then we could do a lash lift to hold you over and all those kinds of things, because that will help them make it feel better that they don't have anything on at the moment. And they can see them growing and know that they're
a lot of eyelash companies do have lash serums. And I used to use Lash Food by JB Lash.
Oh,
and that was a nice one. I know that's a flashback, huh?
Yeah, like the image of
the image. I know the white,
and I was like,
yep.
Oh my gosh, I used to have to order these for Shanique.
Yeah. But that was really good. It didn't cause like any weirdness with blonde hair, blue eye people. Because that happened to my mother-in-law. She was using a very, very famous brand that turned one of her eyes like a hazel brown. And then she had a blue eye like Dixie. And she said it was from the latase.
Yeah,
it can cause reactions. But there is a chemical, an ingredient that you do want to stay away from, right, Dixie?
There's a lot of ingredients. Like our food. Look at the ingredients, because so I was reading a Reddit, my second time ever on Reddit, because I'm not hip.
There's a lot of good.
But she was saying recently on social media, it just reminded me that we can't rely on beauty retailers to protect our health. I've seen TikToks about people buying beauty products from Shein and going to the hospital. Today, I've learned that the lash growth serum I've been using has a type of ingredient called prostaglandins. Say it with me, guys.
Prostaglandins.
Which can cause permanent darkening of the iris, which we were just talking about, permanent dry eye, fat loss, which is the opposite of what you want. Do you want like sunken in thin eyelids? Yeah. And she says, I've not noticed these side effects personally, but they are effects that could happen in the long run. She was using the serum Grande Lash, which I used. But the ingredients are common in a lot of popular serums. And she mentions, just that you can buy it at Sephora and it's more of on the expensive side. But she brought up a good point. Just because it's more expensive doesn't mean that it's better for you necessarily. So just do your research on stuff.
I mean, everybody has, a phone that has some kind of, you get Google or whatever on it. Like, do your research, look at the ingredients, see what they do. Yeah. Because it might just really mess you up.
Yeah. I would say anything that's more peptide based. I have a list that I'll share with you guys, but peptides are really good and they're natural. And maybe it won't work as fast as Grande Lash, but it is safer for your overall. I mean, think about it. You're in your eye. Like, I don't know. I just don't want to mess with anything. And I used Grande Lash forever, and it works. It's great. But I noticed, I think it was like the third time me using it, because what would happen is I would pull my lashes out if I had extensions. Yeah. I would be like in traffic and sit there, and it's like the equivalent. I don't bite my nails or anything, but I feel like it's that kind of equivalent feeling of like, or if you're anxious or something. So I lost a lot of my lashes. So I was like, oh my God, I need to so I was on Grande Lash and grew my lashes back. And then I had extensions and then I picked them and then, so back and forth. And then I was on Grande Lash again and I noticed like my eyelid was really irritated. Like,
was it dry and itchy or?
It wasn't itchy. It was sore. Like it was like maybe a little pink too. Like it was just irritated.
Wow. Yeah.
And so I stopped using that. And then that's when I dove into ingredients and everything. And I was like, oh, wow. Just because it's a popular brand and that, it's sold at like even Cosmoprof or Salon Essential, I need to look into other options and do whatever you think is best. I also say too, if like you want like that fast result, sometimes I don't think Grande Lash or ones with these ingredients are good long term, but who knows? I mean, if you use it for a month or something, just to start the process.
If you don't have a reaction, instantly.
So now I maintain with more peptide based ones. I've been using the one by Milk right now. I think it's called Kush, and that one. I mean, I don't see like crazy growth like with the ones with chemicals and stuff. I would have to trim them sometimes. Like, do you remember? Like, I had like devil horns coming out. Like, just two of the lashes were like all the way like to my brow.
And she comes in the room and she's coming closer and closer and closer. And I was like, oh my God. They look like spiders.
Yeah.
Like, which I was like, damn, that is a good serum.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, great, it worked. But now I'm like,
I was like, now you need to stop, Dixie. Whatever you're using,
I still want to maintain it. And the peptide one, it also conditions your lashes and strengthens them. Yeah. So I like that. So I do the peptides as a maintenance. If I had really severe damage, you might want to consider. It's just kind of like what you prefer, but just be aware, I think, at the end of the day. So other ingredients. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No.
Okay.
It's okay.
So other ingredients, other than the prostaglandins, is parabens, preservatives. These will just irritate your skin. So it's probably what was happening on my eyelid because you are putting it more on the skin. If you've never used a lash serum before, it usually comes out looking like a liquid eyeliner, like not black, but like you put it on like that. It's not normally like you scoop it up into your lashes, which I have seen before, or I'll put a spoolie in it and do it that way. But a lot of the time it comes like that. So that's what gets on your skin. But yeah, and then phthalates. Those ingredients can trigger allergies. So even if you don't really have any, like that can trigger it. So obviously the most natural, less problem is when we always suggest castor oil. But if you do have extensions and you want to keep your eyelashes healthy and growing, I would go with then one of the peptides, because those are safe with your extensions versus the oil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, just look at your ingredients. You also would want to avoid beta oprost.
Okay.
Dihydroxy.
Nice.
If you see any like alcohol or stuff like that, that's gonna dry out your eyelids. Ones that you are good that are more natural are like the peptides, which are amino acids. So they promote longer, fuller lashes. So some of the peptides are called, acetyl.
Oh my God. Stop. It's like, where's the what do you call it when you hit the word and it tells you
I know. I put it in my notes, so
gotcha.
I wish. Maybe we can put like the name on the screen.
Oh my God, yes, please.
But those are effective. Red clover extract. I can say that one.
Oh my gosh.
That supports longer, thicker lashes when combined with the peptides. So if you see the peptides plus red clover extract, that's always good. Keratin is the main protein in our lashes and in our hair. So that helps them become more strong and thick. So look for that. And then a lot of them will have like vitamins in it. Like we say to take biotin, but for me, I was doing laser hair.
Yes.
And so I was like, well, that defeats the purpose if I'm trying to grow out all my other hair, or grow out my hair. So putting
Dixie,
the biotin.
her body had a bad reaction, so she grew sideburns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, what's going on? And she had a big black sideburn. And I was like, what are you doing? She's like,
becoming a man.
Nothing.
That's what I'm doing.
So anyways, we debunked it. Like, I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Collagen.
Yeah.
It was growing.
And it was a hormone reaction. Because it was just one side of my
black
face.
Hair.
And I had radiation when I was younger on that. I have no idea. I think it was like a
reaction
to like all of it, like the perfect storm for that sideburn. But anyway, so I was doing laser hair removal. So if I took biotin or something like that kind of defeated the purpose.
Yeah.
So it's nice that if you see biotin in your ingredients and then it's just localized, like you just put it on the eyelashes to make them grow. That's always nice.
That would be amazing.
So yeah, there's biotin. There we go. Panthenol, which helps nourish the lashes. So yeah, just be aware. Look at your ingredients, but there's a lot more now on the market of peptide because I think they figured out that these were causing these effects. Because when
you don't want to damage your eyes, your eyeballs,
and it's all with like things you never know, like the outcome or like the long-term effects is what I mean. Like when
I don't know.
Latisse first came out, do you know what happened? Like how Latisse was discovered?
Yeah.
Yeah. How like it was like
from
surgery from so they gave it to their patients who got what surgery was it? Was it cataract surgery or
glaucoma?
Mm-hmm. So they gave it to their patients. I keep saying clients because that's what
So basically it was a glaucoma medication.
Yeah, a medication. And they noticed that, oh my gosh, when their clients came in, it was like the eyelashes were so long. So then they started marketing it as a lash serum, which was great. But then there was those side effects. Mm-hmm. And now apparently they've taken it down because like trial and error. They're like, oh gosh, like this is happening. But now I feel like even more on the market nowadays is the peptides and the more natural based ones because that's the direction we're going in. So
So another thing, I know clients are like, okay, well, I'm going to take a break, but I'm going to hang on to these eyelashes for, life right now. Like, I'm going to savor every eyelash. I mean, look, it's just better for us to take it off and remove, because just like what Dixie was saying in the beginning, is that she was in traffic just rolling the eyelashes and playing with it, because as it grows out, it does weigh down your natural eyelash, and you'll start picking.
You feel that little glue clump, and you're like, "Ooh, hi."
Yeah, and so if you do that, and that's like all of your eyelashes, you're not going to have anything. So it's not going to help the situation at all.
Yeah.
So I always just come in.
Get them off.
Just get them off.
Yeah.
I know it's such a sad thing to do, but let us take care of you.
Yeah.
Because we do want to get you in faster.
Yeah.
And
I think I always tell my clients this too. It's like, don't you want me to be able to lash more, like give you a fuller look? I'm like, I can only work with what I've got. Yeah. So if you take care of your lashes and you're, doing serums, or you're taking break or cleaning them, then that just gives me the opportunity to make them as full or whatever the look you're going for. But if I don't have a natural lash to work with, I can't do anything. Yeah, so it's in your benefit as well for the look you want.
Yeah. So you really have to wash your eyelashes. You have to, because you want to prevent the blepharitis and allergies. I mean, this is what I used to tell Dixie and the girls. They're like little umbrellas. Mm-hmm. They catch dust and particles and pollen.
And then it stays in there.
Yeah, and it stays in there. And if I know a lot of people, and especially the OG clients that were like, okay, I was taught to not get them wet. They still have that mindset. Mm-hmm. And they don't want to ruin their beautiful set. But, washing them does help prevent all that. Mm-hmm. So it's so important to maintain the grooming before. During and after. Yeah.
There was something I looked up. Oh, this is what it is. Speaking of like how like they're scared to wash them and stuff, because it used to be 24 to 48 hours to cure, but it's now reduced to just 4 hours because a lot of the glues now have
cryolate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So now it doesn't have to be 24 to 48 hours. It cures faster.
Actually, yeah. I mean, it really does, because honestly, when you cure, and I know a lot of people cure differently, they could immediately get their eyelashes wet.
Yeah.
Because I do have some teary-eyed clients that get a little crusty, and then I'm like, look, I know we just go home after this, and then it just becomes fluffier. So it depends how you cut the fumes in half. Mm-hmm. So you could do that with a bonder, because it cuts the time in half. A nano mister, a fan, all of that. Mm-hmm. So
I do all of that sometimes. Like, I mean, every client is different. If they're more sensitive, I don't use a bonder most of the time, because I've noticed that they usually burn more. Mm-hmm. Even if I fan and do everything, they're just more irritated. So I just kind of take that out, and then I'll do the mister and the fan. And then some people, I feel like I always use the fan, but I don't always use the mister. I don't know why.
I use a mister for the really sensitive people.
That's what, just to clear the air of the fumes. I'm always saying it's like a little eye wash.
Yeah, especially if they have like really bulbous, protruding like eyes, because their eyes aren't like really closed down like all the way. Or women who have had eyelid surgery, their eyes are slightly open during the whole process.
Yeah.
So they
are getting
getting those fumes. I mean, I know fumes because I tried to do my own eyelashes last night, and my eyeballs were burning, guys.
I don't know.
It's
Please
so
tell
hard
us, other
to
lash
do.
artists. I know
It's
people
so
do,
hard.
but like, I don't understand.
And I think the more than anything that was hard is just keeping my eyes open.
No, it burns.
It burns.
Yeah. I mean, even sometimes if I'm having a long day, glue like with lash clients, and sometimes I don't use my glasses, even though I know I should, because I always wear a mask. and it gets fogged up, and then I'm cleaning. I'm like getting so annoyed. So I don't use and then I notice that I'm like right looking into their eyeballs, like so close. And then the fume is getting into me, and I'll like notice, I'm like, oh, my eyes kind of sting today.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know how people do it with their
eyes open. I have no idea. It's crazy. So what I like to recommend for moving forward every day, we got those eyelashes on, is 3 things. 3. Number 1, keep on using that lash serum. Number 2, finding a really great mascara a great mascara. Make sure
the lashes are off?
The lashes are off.
Oh, okay,
This is the Aftercare.
Oh, Aftercare.
Yes. So lash serum, a great mascara, and a really good eyeliner. And I'm trying to like figure out a way to describe, but everybody knows what a waterline is on your eye. So having either black or Dixie I would suggest like a
dark brown.
A dark brown
you can
espresso.
See it. Go like
yeah, you lift up your eye.
You can see it.
Yeah, and so then you just kind of frame your eye, and it creates that thicker look,
that thicker lash line. Because I don't look good with like eyeliner on top. It makes my eye, because I have smaller eyes, I just don't think it looks good. But every time I do like the perfect,
I love that. Yeah, and it stays on. It doesn't like go all over the place.
Yeah, I use the one size, the O with the slash and the S. Isn't it called one size by somebody?
Oh, OS.
OS, yeah.
OS. Get it?
But I use theirs, and it's supposedly waterproof. I mean, I've never.
Do you like it?
I do a lot. I used their eyeliner and lip liner. Mm-hmm. I used something.
Powder.
Their cheek and the powder.
Yeah,
I've been using a lot from them recently.
Yeah, you used a lot.
Yeah, because it stays. Mm-hmm. Like it really does stay. But not to the extent of like it's hard to get off.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing. So I don't have eyelash extensions because I'm a picker. And as soon as they start growing out, I'm at it.
Yeah.
And then I feel bad for making one of my lash friends have to lash me, and they're like, it's
right.
I'd just rather just
and
do
plus,
lash lifts.
Dixie, with her eyes and her face, like classic lashes is her thing. We discovered that looks so amazing on her. Mm-hmm. She doesn't need much.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to drown in volume.
Yeah. So next week I'm going to London, and I asked Shanique if she could do my lashes. But the reason I'm getting my lashes done is I just don't want to deal with mascara while I'm on my trip. Yeah. So it will pretty much look the same. Yeah. So since for every day, I'm like, I can deal with mascara. But what I've learned is I use a mascara, like just explore around. This is a mascara that's meant for eyelash extensions. Mm-hmm. And it washes off so easily.
Yes.
So I'm not rubbing my eyes. I'm not trying to get off the mascara. Mm-hmm. So I'm not losing lashes in that way either, because I barely touch my lashes. And then I get lash lifts, so I'm not curling or breaking that lash. So that's another thing when you're maintaining, is find makeup that you like and it's good, but that comes off easy. Mm-hmm. Because that's the worst, is if you're scrubbing and like having to kick it off. Another mascara that's good is, I think I'm wearing it right now actually, because I was, it's the one where it's like a tube, like it forms like more of a tube.
Fiber?
Yeah, fiber lash. So finding a good fiber lash is nice too, because it just like rolls right off.
Yeah.
So that's nice too. So there's options out there.
Yeah, there's options. And I want to say one last thing.
Let's hear it.
Which a lot of clients have asked, like, well, can I wear strips during it? Can I wear Ardell's with it?
That's a good question.
Clusters, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, I don't suggest it, because especially it just depends on the situation. Like if a client has lost a lot of eyelashes, you want to air out those pores. You want to air out those eyelashes, and you want
less touching the better.
The less touching the better. Please don't wear strips. I don't suggest it. And I think, that's a really good thing to suggest for your clients, is like, okay, we're taking a break. And when I say a break, I mean, we're taking a real break.
Yeah.
And really, tell them how many times a year do we do this? Some people have not.
Yeah.
So it's...
So if you don't want to
okay.
take a break, here's your warning. Clean your lashes. Take care of your lashes.
Yes.
Use serum.
Yeah.
Talk to your esthetician.
Do the work.
A lot of the time, do it.
Do it.
But a lot of the time, my clients are sitting there and they'll ask me, how do my natural lashes look? And I'll tell them, I'm like, I kind of see some break. And then they'll be like, yeah, I was kind of playing with them. Or I'll be like, dang, I feel like there's a lot more for me to work with. And she's like, yeah, I haven't been touching them. I haven't worn makeup with my lashes. So just, there's ways to prevent having to take a lash break.
Yeah, just be honest.
But there's times when you're going to need to. And
you have to. But get ahead of it. Get ahead of, if you see it coming, because, visually you could see, oh my God, this is not, her set is not as full and she's coming in for more fills. That's a sign. Mm-hmm. So just pay attention and take care of your clients. That's it.
Perfect.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Just kidding.
Look at your ingredients.
Yeah.
Not just on your lashes.
Not just
on your food.
Not just on your eyelashes.
Or on your mess. I don't know. Leave me alone.
All right. You can find us on
Instagram, not just lashes. YouTube, not just lashes. Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts. I think it's
YouTube.
Yes.
All of that.
Shinixie Lash.
Shinixie Lash. We have classes up on our website.
Yes. And then we also have, if we mentioned any products or anything during the show, we have a Amazon affiliate link, so you can go there and just see everything that exactly we talked about. And
we'll have the eye washes up for, beside medical eye washes and stuff that you could look up on Amazon. So. Yeah. All right, guys. See you next time.
Subscribe.
Sublime.
Sublime.